Welcome back to Theresa.is.Dead. My name is Theresa and I'm very much alive. And if you're new here, welcome. I have an awful garbage mouth. And if you're not into that or weird shit in general, this is not the place for you. Feel free to exit out the video here. No harm, no foul, but I remember our time fondly. If you want to jump straight to the overall review of the product, I'll leave a time code down below. Feel free to jump ahead. Guys, I was going to talk about a work thing that was gross and disgusting, you know, much like everything else on this channel, but I'm not. Only because I really just wanted to be real for a second and honest and all that good stuff, because, you know, this channel is all about honesty. And I really just wanted to say like a heartfelt thank you for one, being super accommodating from like my kind of crazy schedule that's been going on for the past 2 weeks. I like to try to get my videos out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You know, real life gets in the way of things, and having a full-time job and having issues kind of go on family-wise, it's been fucking insane. But I am hoping that my schedule will now go back to normal maybe a week or so. So next week might be a little funky too, but the following week should be better. So the reason why there has been kind of a shift of things is because my stepdad has prostate cancer. And it's fine, it's okay, he's going to be okay. He is middle of the road. It's not the most amazing news we want to hear, but it's not the worst news we want to hear. There is a really good sign at the end of all of this. And he's doing this like aggressive radiation therapy, and I really wanted to be there yesterday for him. That's why I couldn't get my video up on Friday, because it was supposed to be his last day. There's supposed to be the ceremony, you ring a bell, everyone cries. It's supposed to be like this really beautiful thing. And because of complications that happened during the week, he wasn't able to complete his last treatment yesterday. So he did his 4th treatment, and now his last treatment will be on Monday. So that kind of sucks, but I really wanted to be there. And then work just fucked my ass up. And I got there late and it sucked, but I was able to still go home with them and kind of talk. I really have to say that I admire my stepdad and my mom, because they're in like really good spirits. I know it must be really, really hard, but like they do put on a complete brave face. And yeah, anyway, so that's really kind of what's been going on. Oh my god, I'm gonna start crying. What the fuck, dude? So the point is that I'm sorry my schedule has been a little funky. Thank you for being really awesome and kind and not giving me too much shit about it. And I know you guys are gonna be like, it's fine, go do you, whatever. But like I said, I really want to be transparent on this channel. I want to tell you what's going on, because, you know, it's not always rainbow and sunshine and I hate Tarte palettes. It's not always that. It's real shit. Just thank you. Just thank you for being supportive and awesome and staying with me. I can't end this without something funny, so I'm actually gonna play you a little clip of what I had to experience today. And it's only a small portion, because then it went into like a really, really deep, weird conversation about gluten, which I'm not gonna get into. I asked my mom and my stepdad to take me to the post office because Alex is working, and I wanted to check my P.O. box, which, by the way, I did get a sweet, beautiful package from an anonymous person. I am gonna show during my mail time for April, but yo, Anonymous, your slots back there. You're fucking cool. I'm mad that you didn't put your name, because I would love to address you personally, but you're awesome. Thank you. So anyway, while they were taking me to the post office, actually 2 things happened today. Side note, this eye is a little fucked up, and I'll talk about it in the review portion. It has nothing to do with Tarte. It has everything to do with the fucking Blue Blood palette. So I actually had to get eye drops, so I asked them to also take me to CVS. And can I tell you, I don't know why they employ monsters to work in the CVS by my house, but everybody just couldn't be bothered when I was asking where eye drops were. And I assumed that eye drops would be in like the allergy aisle. No, it's actually next to stationery stuff. How is that? I don't get it. Anyway, I asked like 3 people, and everybody just seemed really mad at me that I was asking for stuff. So yeah, anyway. So after that, then we went to the post office, and then this little clip happened. But anyway, yeah, this is my family. They're fucking crazy. But anyway, you can see where I get my humor from. In any case, thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for just being awesome and just riding this out with me. My stepdad will be okay, so no worries there. But if any of you guys are kind of going through something like this, my heart goes out to you. It's crazy, it's intense and whatever, but I think we always have to remember you gotta keep laughing. Otherwise it gets really depressing, so. Okay, anyway, enjoy this clip.
And we all 3 of us go into the bathroom to learn how to self-catheterize.
Yeah, right, we're all crowded in there.
I think she panicked and said, I don't think you can do it yourself tonight. But we watched the video, and oh my god. But the video was weird. It was a woman using a plastic model. It wasn't a real person.
I saw the picture of the guy's
Well, do you think anyone would ever want to be an extra?
No, they have real people that do it.
Oh, okay.
She started to show us one in a wheelchair. And then, and then she said, oh, it's not going to work. You're not in a wheelchair.
Oh my god.
And besides that, remember? Because I looked at the size of his, and I went, whoa, I'm jealous. And she starts laughing at that too.
Oh, yeah.
Because the guy's got it in his hand. It's like a fucking kielbasa. I'm like, wow. This is supposed to be educational.
But you couldn't find one that
Slightly aroused.
But you couldn't find one that went to his situation with all other guys and stuff.
Oh, I thought you were talking about.
This way, right?
I thought you were talking about like penis sizes. She was categorizing them that way.
Find my
Like, oh,
size.
not quite right, Goldie Cox. Not quite right.
I typed in small to freakishly small, but I don't know.
Is it a girl or a man? Question mark.
Oh my God. Ugh.
Oh, that was so
You want another ride, T?
No,
I
I'm
think
o-
you're riding in tomorrow.
I'm okay.
Feel free.
This was enough
That was
for
so
today.
funny that night.
This was enough to go get some eye drops.
On today's video, we're going to be talking about the Tarte Icy Betch palette, which is this little guy right over here. But before I give you my overall thoughts, let me read you a little bit about the palette first. Icy Betch Eye and Cheek palette retails for $24. Does she need an explanation? This is the Icy Tone vegan palette you've been begging us for. She cool, she icy, she came to slay. 5 mattes and 4 luster high impact shades from icy blues to steely silvers and 1 beam and highlight. Formulated with Amazonian clay for maximum wear, pigment, and blendability. Your April Fool's dream come true. This time, it ain't no joke. First of all, that description, disgusting. Second of all, Tarte, you fucked up. You keep fucking up. We were rooting for you, bitch. I don't know why you did this to us. But what makes me so mad is that you show us this, and then you give us this. However, I am gonna shut the fuck up because I actually like the palette. I know. Who am I right now, okay? Someone who last year literally raked Tarte through the coals. Now I'm like, literally sucking their dick every night. You know, I'm like, oh my God, this foundation and now this palette, I love it. One thing I want to say is that this eye, you see how this eye is being all fucked up? This has nothing to do with this palette. This has everything to do with the Jeffree Star Blue Blood palette. That bitch has some pigments in there that are fucking up my eyes so hard that I was doing extra looks with it last night because I want to actually film a proper review, because if you haven't seen it, I do have like a first impressions up there, which I feel like I was pretty fair with the palette. I think spending a little bit more time with it, I'm going to be a little bit more critical in my review, but I wanted to come up with more looks because I only did 2, and the 2 looks that I did create I wasn't really a huge fan of. So last night I was using that palette and I think my eyes had enough. One of my eyes permanently stained pink because of it. I didn't have any eye drops last night, so I went to bed with my eye being all fucked up, and then I woke up with my eye being fucked up because, you know, I don't know why I thought sleep would magically correct it, but it did not. I had to go get some eye drops, and you'll see that the inner corner over here, it's lifting, it's bleeding, it's wet, it's an ocean, no pun intended. It has nothing to do with the product. So I really want to just like keep reiterating that this has nothing to do with the product. This has everything to do with that Blue Blood palette killing my fucking face. So with that said, let's talk about this palette. So here you go. Here's this little bitch right here. Is this hollow or is this iridescent? I want to say it's hollow. It could be iridescent. I don't know, I feel like I see a rainbow, and isn't that the whole idea? If you see the rainbow shift, it's hollow. Every time I say hollow, you guys correct me. So if it's not hollow, just correct me down below. I don't know, but I feel like this looks like hollow. It reminds me of like a Lisa Frank moment, and I'm okay with that. Of course, in the top here, it says Icy Betch, which I wish it would just say bitch, because betch is kind of like saying potty mouth. It's stupid, so no. So with that said, once you kind of look past that, you open her up, you get a nice full-size mirror here. And then of course you get your 9 shades and your 1 jumbo highlighter. So I tried all of these shades in this palette, and I don't have a bad thing to say about them. I just don't. I don't. They're fucking great. I also like the Amazonian clay formula. I feel like it's very true. They have a great lasting power. They have amazing blendability. Nothing is patchy, nothing is weird, nothing is wonky. I use 2 different kind of primers for this. I use my traditional NARS Soft Matte Concealer, totally fine, and I've been playing around with the MAC Paint Pot and Painterly, and the only reason why I picked that up is because during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, it was half off. Honestly, I actually like the little MAC Paint Pot. I can understand why people really like that. The only thing is I will say is that it's very, very drying as opposed to my concealer base that is a little bit more wet. With that said, I have used both of those as bases, and it's been beautiful. Yes, there is some kick up and there is some fallout, and the fallout is kind of more predominantly, I would say, with the darker shades. The shimmer shades can come off a little bit crumbly, but I feel like with applications with a finger or some setting spray, they look great. They still do work very well with a dry brush, but they just don't have that much of like that punch, that impact that you would had you use a finger or some setting spray. So you have 5 mattes here, you have these 4 up here, and then you have this one down here. I gotta say that this white shade is fucking phenomenal. It's actually really good. And I was surprised because when I first initially swatched it, I was like, all right. And I thought it was going to be very lackluster. If I were to rate my white eyeshadows, one being like the Anastasia Beverly Hills Riviera palette being like #1, followed by the Blood Sugar one from Jeffree Star. What is it, Candy Floss, or I don't know, whatever that white shade is. That's a very good shade. And then I would say this would be #3. And then I think it's the Taco shade from Sugar Pill. As for the other colors, they're beautiful. This powder blue is light, but it definitely shows up on my skin. You have to build it up a little bit, but the pigment is there and it's very, very pretty. I actually like this as a transition color. These 2 shades, this blue is phenomenal. This is kind of like the Mimi Bobek staple blue. I fucking love it so much. It's so 80s, it hurts. I love the green guy next to it. It's very similar to the one in the Blue Blood palette, which I will show you swatches of some similarities, as well as this little gray one down here. This one kind of looks also similar to one of the Blue Blood shades, except I really like this one a lot. As for the High Luster Impact shades, they're beautiful. I have no problem with them. The other thing I will say is that these 2 dark ones are very similar looking. However, they have different undertones. So I kind of almost wish that, you know, I don't know, maybe they could have replaced this one with another green color perhaps. Because that's the one thing that this palette is lacking for me, is that I wish there was a little bit more green in there. So that was my only kind of real big complaint with this. Actually, no, my biggest complaint is that what they should have fucking promised us in the beginning, that's what they should have released. But whatever, I'm preaching to the fucking choir at this point. The second thing would be, I wish this shade was a little bit different. Not to say that that shade bad, it's very beautiful, but it's just like, they kind of look similar. I could have dealt with that one. This highlighter, I love it. It's very pretty. It is a little bit powdery. I noticed that like with a finger, it does come off a little chunky, but when I applied it with a brush, I had no problem with that. It's only when I applied it as a swatch, I noticed that there was a little bit of chunkiness to it, but other than that, it's very pretty. It also lasts for a long fucking time. Love the Amazonian clay formula. And I think from now on, I'm only really going to purchase things with this formula in mind. I feel like everything else is really hit or miss for me, which sucks because I love that Tarte foundation, and if you haven't seen that video, I'll link it up here. I fucking love that. I'm currently wearing it now. This is something that I've been wearing every fucking day since I've actually purchased the bigger bottle. I love it that much. And so I really want to like this brand, but this brand acts like a high school boyfriend constantly fucking my best friends and then lying to my face about it. You know what I mean? So the price point on this guy is $24. I think it's actually worth it. I don't think you can, can you get an Ulta? Let me see, can you get an Ulta? Let's see. Oh my God. Okay, first of all, I was going to suggest that since this is $24 and I totally think that it's worth the money, that I know, and I purchased this through Sephora, mind you, and I purchased it on the day that it came out. I was going to recommend that while, yes, it is totally worth the price, being that the Sephora VIB Rouge whatever sale is coming up, I believe May 1st, I was gonna say, hey, if you can snag it through that sale, that's even better because you get fucking 15% off. That's great. Not that it's a lot of money, but hey, if you can get like $4 off of it, I say it's actually even more worth it. But they don't have it on the fucking site anymore. You can't buy it through Ulta. So I think the only place you can get it is Tarte.com, which kind of sucks. Only because I don't like Tarte's shipping, because one time I ordered something and they just never sent it to me. Oh man, that really sucks, dude. So I guess you have to go through Tarte's site. I'll be very honest. It's worth it. I think it's worth it to get. I think it's really cool. Yeah, the layout's a little fucked up and a little funky and clunky and whatever. Yes, it's not the palette that we were promised. But overall though, I think it has some really nice blues, some really nice greens, has a really sick fucking highlight as you can see. And yeah, I love it. I think this is actually going to be more of my go-to palette as opposed to the Blue Blood palette. I know. I just laid a heavy motherfucking claim on there. That's why I'm wearing this I Eat Ass shirt, because I can't believe what I'm saying right now, okay? I think that's where I kind of lie in all of this, is that my preference is with this dumb ass little fucking palette, because I do not have any of the fucking bullshit experience I've been dealing with that palette. It feels like this should be an April Fool's Day joke, but it's not. That's how much I like this palette. So for the looks that I created today, this is obviously my standout, my #1. I would wear this every fucking day if I could. I think this is just beautiful. This started off strong, and then, you know, the wrath of eye irritation, as you can see in the outer corner and the inner corner. I'll just zoom you right in to show you. You see that? Up there, you see how it's like all red here? It's like that palette destroyed my face. This was a very pretty look, and then all this happened. I actually at one point did have liner there and it went away, so that sucks. But anyway, I love this one though. This one's cool. This one I feel like a fucking fish. I love it. But the first look that I created with this palette, which I'll just insert a picture here. Look at me, I look so sexy. I didn't film a video for it. I'm an asshole. I should have, because I actually really used more of the greens and kind of gave it more of like this oceany feel. Is this a standalone palette? No, not by any means. This is definitely one of those palettes that you're gonna have to use with something else. But overall though, I really, really do like it. I know. I know. I feel like I should be like, just kidding guys, but no. I really actually enjoyed this palette, so much so that I totally recommend picking it up if you're really interested in something like this. I feel like you would like it. And if you don't, then obviously we should check me into some sort of psych hospital, then I've lost my fucking mind. Alright, so with that said, I want to show you some comparisons to this guy here, to this guy. There's not many. This one's called Georgina. This one is Flourishing. This is Tarte. This is Jeffree Star. Tarte, Jeffree Star. Tarte, Jeffree Star. Alright, so I hope you see that pink there. I didn't even have that shade on for more than maybe 45 seconds, and it already stained my hand. So as you guys can see, these palettes are not dupes for each other. The one shade that I would say would probably be maybe the most similar was maybe the greenish shade, but even that I feel like is a stretch. I love how a lot of people are coming out there saying like, oh, Tarte stole Jeffree's idea and all that bullshit. No, it's just, people just need to shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. They're two different palettes. Seriously, like I don't understand why people are getting so bent out of shape about things. It's makeup, people. Relax. My next blue palette is going to be from Menagerie Cosmetic, the Whale Song? I don't know, whatever. That beautiful palette, this guy right here. I'm excited about this one because I really do like Menagerie Cosmetic, so I'm hoping that the quality is exactly the same as the Feral one, because if so, then I will love the shit out of it. But after that palette, I'm not buying blue eyeshadow for at least 7 years. I'm good. I'm all set. I have enough. Please let me know down below if you guys have this palette, if you're interested in getting this palette, what your thoughts are. I'm always curious to know. And can you believe that I just said that I like this over the Blue Blood palette? Neither can I. Alright, on that note, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it as always. Feel free to like, comment, hit that subscribe button, it's free, and hit that bell icon for notification of all my future posts. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, out in the streets, out in life, whatever. And I'll see you little pumpkins later. Bye.